Hey Collective, it's Al. Welcome back to my channel. I'm just doing an impromptu little follow-up. I know that I actually got a couple of nice, really good comments from the last video I did where I kind of went into my story and kind of said exactly what my mission is going to be going forward. And today's kind of been like a rest period. I've been able to sleep all day. I had a really, really sweet energy come and stay with me all day yesterday and kind of like just, it was a very powerful energy. And they were just coming to ensure that I was okay. So I would like just be asleep, and all of a sudden I'd wake up singing a song, and songs that I remember from being a kid and stuff like that. So it's a very sweet energy, very powerful, and they were just there to kind of take care of me and make me feel a little better. Because I'm probably over the Hell Week part, but now it's like the post Hell Week aspect. If you guys remember, part of the initiations is you go through this Hell Week where they push your buttons for your particular buttons, and so I'm in this location that is not meant for me, and I'm letting the energies work on getting me out, and that's kind of the point of this whole little video here, is that, oh, my hair, yeah, my mom, she's been departed from us for a while now, but I don't know why she really digs his hair. But when I was getting myself ready after I showered and stuff, my mom's energy was very clear in my head. She's like, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this. And I was like, okay. And so now that I'm looking at it, I'm like kind of looking at my dad. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so I don't really know my dad, but that must be what this is about. Anyway, but it's all right. It's okay. So what ended up happening after I posted that video is I started to actually get emails and really good feedback from people. And I especially want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Jamie, who I didn't know that I knew when I first got the email. And what it was a very reaffirming that they really appreciated my story, and that I spoke to them, and that it made sense to them, and that they knew that what they had been going through meant something, and that I was right and all that stuff, which was sweet. But it was more like we connected on that level of finding your mission. And so this person's mission is to help the homeless teens, and so if you can, send a lot of good energy to Jamie, because he's been through hell and high water. I know him personally. I figured that out about midway through the conversation, and I got really excited because I haven't talked to him in like years. And so, but he's on his mission, and he's feeling real affirmed with what I was saying. And so we're getting through. We're getting individual people. We're reaching different people at different times. And so I'm very proud to be reacquainted with Jamie. And so his mission is going to be related to helping the homeless teens, which we call the Children of the Night, which is kind of appropriate if you know what a dark night of the soul is. And so I was very happy with that. And then I got a really random text from somebody who was just like, you used to be so much more fun. Kind of like that. Like that was the text I got. I was like, I'm way more fun. And then for a minute I was like, why would this bother me? And I was like, it doesn't. And so I ended up just spending the rest of the day talking to Jamie here and throughout the day, and kind of focusing my energies on what was going on. And so essentially what I got this. I'm sorry, I'm sitting in a weird position because like the light's really good here, and something about lighting, and I'm not used to this whole camera stuff. But they want me to be. I guess that works. I don't know. They want me to just be more comfortable on camera. I'm so used to doing my life, the chronicles and all that stuff through like a written word on LinkedIn and stuff. I really love my articles, and they're still going to keep coming, but they want me to branch out in this direction. So hello. So don't mind the movement of the camera. Anyway, so as I was working yesterday, I was working on a really beautiful piece that I called The Dinner Party. And it's something that I got in a meditative state. And so normally I would go ahead and put it out in print first, but I wanted to kind of just discuss the premise of it. And what it was is I was in the middle of meditation, and it was in the bathroom, my little quiet spot where the music wasn't bothering me. And I was really comfortable with it for the first day. Like I was just like, okay, it is what it is. I don't mind being in the bathroom on the ground. Like it's okay. Because it's quiet, right, and peaceful. And so I'm meditating, and I'm finally in a good place. And this energy, this visiting energy, who's still with me, by the way, today, we were just like kind of just chilling out in the bathroom, and I had my eyes closed, and out of nowhere, usually I don't have any type of verbiage that comes through in meditation, but I got a very clear question, which was, who would you invite to your end of life party if you had hosted a dinner? And so I thought about it for a moment, and immediately I had the entire list. And so I'm going to share with you who they are, and then in the article that's coming out probably tomorrow, it's going to state exactly why I chose the people. But it was Tolkien, who wrote The Lord of the Rings. It was J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter. It was, next to him was Ralph Waldo Emerson, followed by Tyler Perry, next to Oprah Winfrey, next to the Obamas, next to the Clintons. Then next to them were the three wise men, as I call them, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Tesla. And they were next to Jesus and Christ, the before and the after, and the guest of honor was Mary Magdalene. And I go into why that's so important for me and why I'm so kindred spirit with that energy. And so it's about time that we tell her story. So it's going to be told through this. I've already kind of mentioned it in a past article, but it was one of those articles early on that maybe a lot of people probably missed on LinkedIn. So this one I'm going to promote a little bit more here on YouTube and just kind of say that there's a reason why Mary Magdalene is so important to God. And she has been overlooked for a very, very long time. And I am one of those people that's going to make sure that her story gets heard. And so the dinner party is basically in honor of her. And the people that are at the table are all somehow related and connected to that story. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, and the interesting part, though, is as you read, I wasn't at the table. I was off to the side making sure that everything ran efficiently, but it was my party, and I wasn't even at the table. I'm just off to the side, kind of like, And I'm especially connected to the three wise men. I have specific connections that many of you may not know with Tesla, Da Vinci, and Angelo. Not in like the superb brilliance that they have, but more like off screen, if you will, traits and things that we all have in common. So I just at the end of the piece, I'm kind of like, and I can't wait to have dessert so I can talk to the boys, like just stuff like that. And it's kind of like, a little bit frou-frou, and but it was very, very uplifting. And so the energy basically spent the day with me yesterday, and essentially the message I got was that there's a lot of moving parts that are all happening at once. There are people who are reviewing my situation, both alive and not alive. And it's basically just, to be the normal, humble, truthful person that I am, and that they're basically looking for truth and no bullshit. And I'm like, well, you got me on that one. And the energy was pretty much, it's a he. And he was pretty clear. He was like, that's why you're getting so much attention right now. And he goes, don't worry about it being in something that you see, because it's not something I'll see, I guess. It's just something that I'm feeling, and that to just trust the system and trust the process, and that I'm basically out of the initiations for where I'm at right now. And so I'm going to be going on a mission, and like something to the effect of like, don't get used to this location, that this was literally just like a hell week, and that soon I'll be moving on. And so sure enough, my case counselor from the old location called me, and he's like, what is this picture of you sleeping on the ground in the bathroom? And I go, well, that's where I'm at right now. You asked me how I was doing. And he's like, oh, hell no, no. Let me see what I can do. And so it's like, there's a movement, but the one thing I'm not going to do is sit here and like cry and bitch and moan about like, oh, woe is me. Like, those days are kind of over. That's what Hell Week was about. And the energy was very reaffirming. And so I swear to God, I've never been a Pollyanna type of personality. I'm kind of more of like the Daria, like, yeah, woe is me, like, blah, blah, blah. I kind of have changed that tune, and so it's kind of just been a really uplifting, very rewarding day. And it started with Jamie, and it just started with the fact that sometimes when you are incredibly quiet and like you're like an introvert and you don't really know what to do with life, because sometimes you get things thrown your way that just you don't expect, you don't deserve, and you're just kind of like, well, I don't. And then suddenly you find yourself facing them, and you realize that it's not personal. It's not like somebody came and slapped my cow personally. It was just that I needed to grow up. And so this is all like a big mission on growing up, and because of what my mission is going to be. And I'm going to be dealing with some very dark topics and trying to help some people who got lost where I would have been lost. And so it'll be a little bit easier for me to kind of navigate them back to the light. But that means I have to go to some really dark places. And so that now that I'm in a better place, and now that Hell Week is kind of over, that I'm just supposed to kind of relax and let the energies do what they need to do, and to be really open. And so I guess that's what I wanted to post today, is that a day makes a really big difference. I had been watching, I talk really fast, guys. You should see how I write. Like, I'm just like, ever since I was a GT kid, and so like with the way that I speak, and anybody can tell you that knows me, can attest to the fact that I am incredibly, like, I'm 2 sentences in front of you. Like, what I'm saying to you is already 2 sentences behind of where my head's at. And that's just how I've always been. And so just know that I talk really fast. And because they're telling me to slow down. Sorry. But I forgot where I was going with that. See, sometimes they'll say something like, Al, slow down. Oh, so the message. So basically what I wanted to say was that I had been watching a really beautiful woman. Her name is Morgane. She has a show called, or a channel called The Existential Shift. And I find her incredibly gifted, like just an incredibly gifted tarot reader, and she's into the martial arts and all this stuff. And she is a kindred spirit that I plan on working with, hopefully, in the near, very, very near future, whenever this kicks off. But anyway, she was doing a reading, and I had been really down. And she said in the middle of the reading, she goes, look, there's going to be a little rough period. I'm just going to tell you. And so when you hit that rough period, just wait 2 days, and then it'll be a completely different reality. And so, I think it was like the day before yesterday, before I posted that, I was like having a bad day, and I was like, 2 days, 2 days. And sure enough, like 2 days later, well, technically 3, I woke up in a completely different mental space, and, the music's not bothering me right now, and I'm just kind of like, okay. We're going to make our way, but I'm being told specifically, do not get comfortable here. This is literally a one-stop shop, and then I'm going to be traveling. And they told me to, because I'm a Cancer, so for Cancers, especially Cancer moons, you know what I mean? We have a tendency to always be very nurturing about our home, and home is really big for most Cancers. And of course, that's the last thing I'm going to get right now, because it's part of my mission is to go and find people and to help people and to do stuff like that. It's a little bit more on the groundwork, and so I'm not really going to have a home. So, but they said just to relax into it and to just know that this is like the worst it's going to be, and that from here on out somehow I'm going to be moving around a bit and trying, dealing with other people who are, I don't know, something about industry leaders or stuff like that, like just people who are Aquarian, because we're moving into a very big Aquarian age, and something big's about to happen next week. I'm just going to tell you guys like right now, like they're prompting me and preparing me for like something majorly, like a 180 somehow, for my own life, and then for a lot of the collective. Like it's going to be, and I think it was Nat over at Natalie, Natalee, over at the Artegan, who I met. I was an Artegan in training, one of her earlier classes, and we're out to save the world, as she says. But she literally had prompted me, not prompted me. What's the word? She had said to us yesterday, I believe it was. To be ready that something big was happening. So I just like, oh, okay, because normally I don't get the same information she gets. Everybody has their own frequency, but suddenly it's been like really big. So just know that, collective, that there's some really impressive, really out of the box thinking, out of there's big changes coming. So just be aware of that. But the moral story is, for everyone who's watching my channel here, there's a lot happening, and even though it may not look like it to some people, just understand that my guides are really, really tight-lipped right now, which is unusual for them, because I got some chatty Cathys. We got some chatty Cathys at my house here. Sometimes these bitches just talk, and I'm just like, I want to go to sleep. You sleep too much. Like playing. I have very playful energies. They've been to Health in High Water. I actually just recently had the audacity to ask to meet them, because when you deal with psychic energy, or you deal with the other part of reality, which is what we don't see, it's very interesting. The same people who talk down about those of us who have gifts, or those of us that are out of the box thinkers, they'll be the first ones who want to sign up to the company that we create when it breaks the box office or does something ridiculous, and then they're like, oh well, I always knew. You did it. But I'm not going to worry about that energy. What I'm saying is that they're very chatty Cathy, and so they're very, very outgoing, and they have been, I don't know, it might have something to do with the energy that's with me. There is I don't know how to explain this. There is a reverence for the energy that's been with me for the past day or so. And super sweet to me, but it's familiar. It's somebody very familiar to me that I've known many, many lifetimes. And so I don't know if you guys, I think they just said that one of you will be able to actually see who it is, and that for some reason that's important. But to just know that things can change on a dime, and to just know that sometimes when you're in the worst of places, it's like the dawn right before, or the darkest part right before the dawn hits, right? And so that's what they keep saying. But the energy is very, very sweet. Normally they're all chatty, and right now they're all kind of quiet, and they're kind of just, have you ever felt like you're just being stared at, and you don't know by whom, but you're just, and it's not oppressive, it's like interest. There's just interest around me. I'm just kind of like, but I'm not doing anything, I'm just sleeping. And that's, I think, why the energy is with me, is it's healing. It's a healing energy. I've slept all day today. This is the first time I've gotten up, and they woke me up just so that I could go get my soda, because I drink 1 soda a day. I still don't have a job or any money, so I go get my Coke. And so they were like, okay, it's 4 o'clock, they're going to shut down, your curfew's at 5, and so I woke me up out of nowhere, and I jumped up, and I went and got my Coke. And I showered, and then now I'm telling you guys what's going on. So I don't know exactly what changes between now and next week and what's going on, but just know, collective, that there are a lot of good things coming to all of us, and that all of us who have stepped up and done things that were really against our character are somehow going to be rewarded. I don't know. I don't worry about outcomes. I worry about the now. And so just know that I know that a lot of you are going through some really dark shit. I can feel it. I know that there's one girl out there. I'm trying to figure out who you are, darling. Something having to do with rape, and you're just trying to make it. I'm doing my best to send you good vibes and to send a lot of healing energy, and my guides are working with your guides. So just know that when you feel somebody just sending love and honor and respect and trying to figure out how to help you, I do hear you. I don't know how I know you. I don't know if it's a gift or it's just something I'm picking up in our frequency. But just know that you are being like you're getting aid. My guides are not. They don't fuck around. Like they're coming towards you, babe. They're like either actually I think they're with you. And so I think that's why I'm being restful, is to send a lot of good vibes. So just know that you don't always know who the people are around you or that you somehow come across, but just know and trust the system, and just know that somehow I'm connecting to you, sweetie, and that just know that there's help, and you're going to find some little miracle things that are going to happen in the next week or so that are going to be guided, that's just going to be out of nowhere, and you're just going to be like, I'm taking it, and you're just going to go with it, okay? So just FYI. Okay. And then Jamie, thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to send you a lot of good vibes. In fact, one of the things that's coming across very clearly is that the way that we work on materialism and kind of everything being cash and stuff like that is kind of changing as far as the new collective and kind of moving towards this new Aquarian age. I think Natalie brought up first where she mentioned that the way that we do energy work is going to be a new form of currency, and that it brings a lot of good stuff. So just know that there's a lot of changes coming. So sometimes all I can ask for from you all is to send Jamie some really, really good mojo for being so brave and getting through what he's been through in his life and helping him find his path to helping the homeless teens. And then sending a lot of really good energy to New Orleans. They're going through a lot right now. I mean, it's all hospitality town, and they've been without work for I don't know how long. It's a nightmare down there. So send them good mojo. And then with me, just send me energy, like good energy. Just like, hey, look, he's doing something good, and just let him be, and like stuff like that, like really sweet stuff. And then let the universe take care of the rest of it, and then we'll all get through it somehow. But just know that when you are on the verge of whatever precipice that you're about to break through, or you're about to, because I'm getting an upgrade. I keep hearing upgrade. I don't know what that means, but it's a pretty big upgrade. That's why the energy's with me, is to kind of heal. And so I know I'm getting upgrades, but I don't know what that means necessarily. And so just know that sometimes at the darkest point, it's right before you're about to get an upgrade, or you're about to get noticed, or something beautiful is about to happen that you can't possibly have ever seen coming. So just trust the system. And I've said this before, and it was really hard for me during Hell Week to get through that whole trust. But I'm glad I did. And so even though nothing seems to be happening, there's a lot going on behind me and around me, and it's very good. And so I guess the biggest thing I want you to take away from this little 20-minute video of me just babbling. I'm babbling Brooke, huh? I love that show. Popular. Shout out. Especially the Caged episode. If you guys ever want to truly laugh, watch the Caged episode of Popular, where the girls are all on their period and they get locked in the bathroom together to find a way to bond. Oh, that's good. That or Dirty Love. If you really need to laugh out loud, I've told the story before, but in an article. The movie that pretty much saved my life from a really, really one of the darker periods of my life. I had just been fired from a job, and it was during my dark night of the soul. And I found this movie called Dirty Love with Jenny McCarthy, who wrote it, and her ex-husband directed it. I have never laughed harder in my life. And if you know anything about energy, if you want to really make your life do a 180, laugh a lot. So I would recommend that movie. I don't know them and they don't know me, but I'm just putting that out there. Anyway, so just know that some of the darkest things are always going to happen right before something wonderful is going to happen. And so just focus your energy on getting through your day-to-day activity. Focus on the now. See where you can do adjustments. And then sometimes realize that if you're getting a lot of pressure or block from you being able to move in any direction, like no matter what job I applied to, I couldn't get a job and all that stuff, it's on purpose. And so it's counterintuitive, because at some point you have to take responsibility for your life. But if every door is closed to you, then there is a reason. Stop and just go, okay, maybe I'm just supposed to stand still for a minute. And that's what I'm doing. So that's it for me. I just wanted to say that to everybody. And thank you again. Shout out to Jamie. Thank you to, and even the comment about me being, I used to be more fun. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that I'm not as much fun. That means I'm probably getting my life a little bit together. But not in a bitchy way. I'm sure that we knew each other at a time where I was a big old mess, and There was a time and place for that, but that's not anymore. So anyway, that's it for me. Al on I think this is going to go on Al Altruistic Channels Arbellum, which is my personal blog thing. Look for the dinner party. That's going to be coming out on LinkedIn hopefully tomorrow. I have to do some edits on it. And then just know that there are some videos I filmed on the day of the move before I came over that are going to be hitting Altruistic Channels tonight, so that I keep some energy flowing, and then just know that everything's moving along. I will let you know what changes or what's happening. I'm connecting with a lot of people that I don't know yet. I don't know who they are, but hi. This is the mess you get. This is the mess that you get. And of course, for some reason, my guides are really just super happy about the upgrades and stuff. So I'm trusting the universe, and I know that you all are trusting your life path. Know that a lot of shit's going down, but it's going towards a much better outcome for everybody. That's it from you guys. You have a blessed night. Bye.